Good afternoon everybody, how are you all? Thank you for joining me. My name is Toni and welcome to the live studio here at Wakefield. For those of you who don't know who I am a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, the best craft channel I believe, and I love anything to do with ink, art, painting, using these to make something amazing. And the purpose of this studio is to encourage you guys at home to maybe pick up a paintbrush, pencil, pen and do the same, or put your spin on it, put your take on anything that's highlighted in one of the shows. So if you are watching over on YouTube, please do not forget to subscribe. This helps more views, more people to watch the shows, and you know, encourages more people. And if you're watching over on Facebook, don't forget to comment, as that's the place where I give away all the studio makes, and whoever comments could be in a chance to win one of the cards that's made within the live studio. So today's cards are going to be made using some of our latest lamination stamps. And it's these two that I've got down here. Now I have had a few emails about these lamination stamps. A few people have bought them and can't remember what to do with them. So if you're not familiar with our lamination stamps, I'm just going to show you a quick rundown of how they work and the amazing results you can achieve. So we have the two here, we have the Poppet and the Rose, and both of them are a two-part layering stamp. So we have the Rose here and the solid portion, and we have the Poppet and the solid portion. What's new about our latest edition is these two elements here, and these two elements are like a distressed background that go around the artwork. So in the past, if you've been scared to do your own backgrounds and things like that, these do that for you. But if you don't like this element of it, you can still use this element as a lamination stamp. So lamination, what does that mean? It means to layer. So we started our lamination stamps about 4 or 5 years ago, and they've always predominantly been in 2 layers. They're very loose looking and give a truly watercolour finish. So I'm just going to show you right from the very beginning, basic, right up to getting the most out of both of the stamps. So if you've got these at home already, that's brilliant. If you've got some alternative layering stamps, that's also amazing. But if you do like what I use and you would like to purchase them, that isn't a problem at all you have to do is pop onto our website and put FBL Facebook Live, and all the products that have been in this show and earlier shows are there for you to have a look through. But you might have something in your stash. So let's just set this aside. So what I'm going to show you is we're going to use the Rose first, and I'm not going to create a card, I'm just going to show you the basic lamination side of things. So how does it work? So this is how I use my lamination stamps. So this solid portion here is what I'm going to use first. Now the solid portion is normally for the colour. So let's get some colour on this stamp. So how I'm going to show you is using just a general ink pad. So for those of you that are more advanced in our lamination stamps, that is amazing, but I'm speaking to the people who have emailed me about this stamp set, so I hope you are watching. So basically all it is this comes first and this comes second. So the first part is your coloured part. So we're going to colour this one up. So I've placed my stamp face down onto this piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to colour it. So we'll just use a general purple. So if you have got purple and you'd like to create this look, then you can do that. So I'm just going to ink this stamp up here. So this is the coloured portion, and I'm going to do it all. Although we have 2 leaves in there, I'm just going to go for it and make it all one colour, because this is just to demonstrate how it works, the physical element of it. So just 1 second. Just grab a spritz bottle with some water, and I'm just going to spray the image. Just a few, not heavy. I don't want it to be like saturated, but I want it to give me like a watercolour finish. And there you have like as if you've picked up your paintbrush and painted it. Now you could swap this part here for a green ink pad if you wanted to, but just for simplicity and just to show you how it works, I'm keeping it all the same and basic. So I just take that stamp from there and pop it over there for now. And then you get your outline and you pop your outline on. Now, these are hand painted images and they are not precise. Watercolouring, well, the way that I watercolour is very loose and fluid. So they don't fit precise. So if you don't get it right, it isn't a drama, okay? It still lends itself beautifully to an image. So I'm just going to pop that on, and just for the purpose of this again, I'm just going to do this in a black ink pad. Now you could do it in grey, heat embossing, but just so you can see, I'm not doing it in black. I've got a grey one, a brown one in my hand there. I'll just pop it out for a black one. I'm just going to ink this black one up. So you can see it coming together already. I'll just get it a little bit darker so you can see. And these spots here, I've put those in because they're my paint splatters when I've painted the image. So there it is, just plain and basic, nothing fancy. So if you wanted to just pop that on a card, you could. So solid portion colour and the outline in black, gold embossing, whatever you want to. So I'm just going to show you this one here. So you can see here, the colour here, just in pink, and then the outline in black, and then just the border around. And we're going to do this within our next card. Let's just find another one. So the yellow and orange, the green, and then the black outline. The stamp sentiment always makes it look a little bit arty when it's through the bottom of the stalk, which I love. This one here. So this is just been stamped in black and coloured with a pen. So you can see there, coloured with the sparkle. And then you've got your diamonds from your artistic mounts on there. Heat embossed in purple and green. A tag. So there's just a few examples of just using colour and an outline on there. So let's just set this aside. So let's do it again, but let's do it a little bit more detailed, should we say. So I'm just going to clean the door of my Eureka because it's a little bit wet. Right, so I have here a piece of cardstock. I'm just going to hold it in place. So what I'm going to do is, so there is no right or wrong way you can do the colour portion first or the outline first. In this instance, I am going to do the outline first, just to show you that it doesn't really matter which way you go with it. So let's pop that on there. And then let's stamp this one out. So I am just going to go for black again on the outline. I'm just going to stamp it one more time so it's really intense. Because I'm not watercolouring, I am just using a memento because I'm not going to be using any water. There we go. So that's the outline. So if you just like it as a standalone stamp, you can use it as that. You don't have to use the second portion. So let's just swap this one out. So this is the solid portion then. So I can see, let's just move this out of the way. I'm just going to place it on top like so. And if you twist it slightly, that's okay too. There is no right or wrong way. So this element here is a little bud. Here's 2 extra leaves on there, and this is the solid portion of the rose head. So I'm just going to pick this up. And I'm going to use this ink pad today. So I'm not sure, I've had these in my stash for about 4 years. You know, I bought them because I thought they were amazing and have hardly used them. So I'm going to show you a little technique. If you have got these at home, you need to dig them out. But you can use any ink pad with this. So you can see that it's got a gradation of colour in there. So I'm going to use this light portion on here, and I'm just going to create a bit of an ombre in the rose head here. So I'm just gonna stamp it onto there, but I'm not gonna move it around. I'm gonna keep it quite sterile in the sense that one side of my rose will be lighter. Just make sure I get it all covered. And then it will go across to darker. And I am going to get that bud in the top as well. So I'm going to go with that. Now I could spray it with water, but I'm just going to go solid and see how it looks. And if it doesn't work, we'll do it again. See how you get the light and shade in there? So let's just go for it one more time and try and make it a little bit more intense. So try and make this side of the rose a little bit darker to make it pop, which I've done there. So let's see how we go on. Also, we're getting there. I'm just going to do it again, make it a little bit darker. I'm going to turn the ink pad around so I've got this dark element here. What I don't want is an awful line straight down my image, so you must be mindful of that. Which has gone and happened there. Can you see we've got like a harsh line, so that wouldn't work, but because we've got the facility of our Eureka, we can just blend it in. So I'm just going to go back in with the lightest colour. We've all got lots of fancy ink pads in our stash, so it's lovely to be able to just play. There we go. So that's the main focal point of the card. Now they are water based, so I could spend some time adding a bit of water and blending it out, but I have got a couple of demonstrations, so I'm just going to continue on. So the solid portion, which goes around, now you don't have to use this, but it does look pretty cool, and I created it because I know a lot of people don't like to mess or create a backdrop. So can you see there I've housed the stalk and the head. I'm just going to hold it in place, make sure it stays put. Now you need to use a paler colour. Well, you could use a bright colour if you wanted to. I'm just going to use a pale lilac. Just see how I get on. Now you can spray this as well, but it's got texture within this stamp, so it will give you a lovely grained finish. You can see there how it's housed it. I'm happy with how that's distressed on there, so I'm not going to go for it again. And then let's just find a sentiment that is going to fit on there. I've got a lot going on over this side, so I'm certain whatever sentiments you may have at home, something will work with this. So this is Get Your Happy On, and this is also on the Facebook Live. So you're a whole lot of lovely, yes you are. Now you could do the colour which is graded in there on this stamp, but I am just going to do it in black so you can see it. Do it one more time. There we go. What I'm just going to do is I'm just going to heat it off just to ensure it's dry. So now to make this look a little bit arty, I'm just going to edge around the card. So I'm just going to take the ink pad and I'm going to use the darker side of the ink pad and I'm just going to run it along the side just to create a bit of dimension on there, like so. Can you see how you get this like? Would you only probably be able to see if I popped it against some white. There you go, can you see? When it's popped against the white you can see. So just so the image doesn't get lost, I'm just going to edge it on here. So basically I'm just tilting my ink pad in slightly, just so I get some texture on there. I want quite a bit of texture on there, so I am just going to go for it, and so it hopefully gives me a bit of a distressed finish. So let's just mount this onto a card. So I will use tape and glue, just so whoever wins it won't drop apart. I'll give that a second to adhere, but there you go, you can see the gist of that one there. So you can make it as extravagant as you like, as minimalistic as you like, but if you want to create an ombre in there, it's always good to dig out your ink pad, see what you have. If you've got the big and juicy ones, they were fabulous back in the day. They've not dried up either. They'll do give you exactly the same experience and same effect. So let's move on to the second lamination one in the collection, and let's just pop this one under here so it'll stick. So that was the rose element of it. So this next one, we're going to use a poppy, which is more of a square formation. And what we're going to do is we're going to use just the outline element. So if this scares you a little bit and you're not sure on what to use colour-wise, medium-wise, then let's use just the outline and show you how effective it can look just using that one. The great thing about these ones is you get the mini in there as well, which is perfect for your envelopes. So ahead of time, I have done an inky background, some beautiful colours here, and I stamped a sentiment. What I'm going to show you is how this will look beautiful on here. So I am going to heat emboss this second part of this stamp set, and because of that I am going to use my anti-static bag on the area so it doesn't adhere to any moisture within there, so it might not be completely dry. I'm using a glue ink pad, which I use this mark for this one, so I'm just going to ink it up. So if you watched last week's videos with the resist technique, that could also be used on this one. So a lot of the techniques we've done over the course of the last however many months, you can incorporate with a lot of Stamps by Me products, or maybe some that you've already got in your stash. So maybe if you like this stamp but want to look at alternatives to use it, what fashion you want to use it in, go back and revisit some of our earlier videos, because some of the techniques lend themselves so well to the lamination stamps, lend them so well to some of our mixed media stamps. So I'm happy that should be okay. Just get a card, and we'll do this in gold. And again, this has got the splats in as well. But if you don't like the splats, that's okay. Just brush them away before you come to heat. You can see that there. So that's going to pop from the page as soon as we've heated it up. So when you're using your heat tool, make sure you get it good and hot before you pop it on your project to get less warp in the card. You know how difficult it is to try and get rid of the warp in the card. Some of my projects have needed to be sat between a book for a week to flatten out. As soon as the powder changes, move your gun and it's complete. There we have. So there you can see how gorgeous is that. And that's just like, if you did a lighter background, it would probably pop more, but you can see the simple effect on there. So we've done our outline. Just hold that in place. Now, if you wanted to use the colour part, you could use the colour part. I'm just trying to show you varying options. Then we have this solid part here. So I am going to pop the solid part around just to show you what it looks like. Just bear in mind though, you don't have to use all the elements within. So when you pop this on, you will see it fits just around the image. Make sure it's lined up the best you can, so keep twisting, keep twisting, keep twisting until you're absolutely happy it's created this frame. So I can see this element here fits within there, this element there, this element there, and this element there. So this is going to be like a little bit of a diamond shape. If you want a perfect square to go along your artwork, you need to twist your outline. So this would come further round. That's also like, if you wanted it like that, you'd have to twist your image round. So oh, I can't line it up now, I can't see. There we go. I like to be perfect, you see, so I won't go ahead until I'm absolutely certain that that is in place, and it looks like it is now. So this gives you like an artistic frame that sits behind. Now what I'm going to do is, because I'm not sure this is going to look good, and this is just a good tip for you at home as well, is always pick a light colour first. So I've just got, let's have a look. I've just got this lilac here, it's very, very light. So I'm just going to pop it on and stamp it. And you know, if I'm happy with it, then I'll go for the colour I really like. If I'm not, it's not a great shake. And sometimes the best cards are made from things like this. That's actually okay. So I'm going to do it in a darker colour. So let's go for brown. Let's see how we do. May have to stamp this a few times. Well, we're getting there. So you could absolutely build on that. That's giving it like a little bit of a reflection behind, a little bit of an artistic mount behind. So what we're going to do now is, I have a gel pen. And let me just find my ruler. So what we're going to do now is we're going to frame this piece of art. Now you can do it in a gel pen, you can do it in a sketch marker, a black one. black or white, it's up to you. So I am going to go for, let's just see how thick this one is, go for black. And I'm just going to go around the line there and make this look like it's meant to be there. Let's see if that's thick enough. It's not thick enough. Let's try white. My trusted white gel pen never lets me down, which is amazing. So I'm going to twist my artwork. I'm just going to frame the mount that I've put behind. See how that's come together like that? But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it a little bit more arty. I'm just going to put some stitch detail in there. I don't think that's coming across well at all on camera, but it actually looks really artistic. I'm really pleased with that. So what I'm going to do is let's get this mounted onto a card. Before I do that though, I am just going to get some splashes on here just to finish it. So I'm just going to pop some on the end of my finger. I'm just going to just dry that one off. Now you could go into the heads of the flowers that's not really showing on camera, is that, but it's really gold. It's really, really gold. You can just see it there. There you go, you can catch the gold there. But these lamination stamps, we had the beautiful one, which was a 2-part stamp. That could be used for this technique. You've got the other lamination ones, which can also be used with this technique. But go back to my early videos, you will see earlier videos using lots of different lamination stamps. And what you can and, well, there isn't anything you can't, I won't say can and can't do, because there isn't anything you can't do with them, if I'm completely honest. They are my best creation, should we say. So I'll just get this mounted onto a card. Not had much luck today with my tape pens. So there we have 2 different cards, 2 different looks. Please try both if you have got them at home. If you haven't, you know where to find them, or find something in your stash that will work for you. So it's a Happy New Year from me, and for those of you who haven't watched our videos before, you will be able to catch me every Monday and every Wednesday. I know I said it'd be Thursday, but it's not, change of plan. Mondays, Wednesdays, 4 PM every week, unless I'm obviously at the live studio at Create and Craft, I will be here. And the way that you can find me is on YouTube. So whatever you are doing, don't forget to comment, and have a great evening everyone, and I will see you on Wednesday at 4 PM. Take care, bye.